exactly how I saw it in my head. I had no illusion to standing around and trading any kind of blows with James. I had to pull out the old low single from college and dust it off, and spent the whole camp working on that low shot because it's pretty hard to counter punch that. He said you got to be within an arm's length to really hit a double leg. And if I'm within an arm's length, guess what? He's got arms. He can hit me with them. And so I thought I could get to his feet and put him on his butt with that low single, and it worked.
And you were understandably confident going in, but kind of like Dana said, as it got closer, you got a little nervous. Was there ever a moment where you were in the cage and it's getting here and you say, what if this guy does catch me?
No, I wasn't worried about that so much. Through training camp, I had a couple doubts about whether or not the low shot was going to work, and I was going to have to try and get into range to set up a good double leg or run him to the fence and try to clinch. And then I think today, especially in the locker room, working with Ray, while the other guys were out cornering Gray, and the low shot just felt sharp, and I felt like it was, again, in my mind, I felt like it was going to work. It was going to be the key.
And when you took that shot, it seemed like it was kind of from a little far away. It wasn't like the strongest takedown we've ever seen from you. Were you concerned at all? Did you feel like it was going to succeed when you shot forward?
I thought it was the best takedown I've ever seen in my life. Big fan of the low single.
That's exactly why you don't see a lot of guys shoot that shot, because it's pretty easy to counter. You shoot it from a longer distance away. You have to get pretty low. A good grappler or a good wrestler is going to step out of that. Catching his heel and hopefully getting some pressure on his knee to force him to his butt. I didn't think James would have a counter or an answer to that. But you don't see that shot very often in MMA, just simply because it is good grapplers counter it pretty easily.
Were you surprised the knockout didn't come from the ground, that he wasn't able to knock you out from the back as he planned?
Well, I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen anybody do that. So, not from the bottom. I've seen a few guys do it from the top, but not from the bottom.
Randy, when he came out, and I noticed his stance. Did you notice his stance right away? It looked like a conventional boxing stance. Did you salivate at that point?
Well, the first thing I noticed when I got into the cage and kind of settled in was he was wearing those things on his feet. Mm-hmm. And a huge thing was shooting a low single. You're used to doing it against wrestlers when they're wearing shoes. It got something I can grip. And so when he had those things on his feet, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be better. I got something I can grip. If it gets dicey or tries to step out of it, I got something I can hang on to other than his sweaty leg and his sweaty foot. But I didn't, the only reason I would have salivated over the boxing stance was I had trained a lot with Ray and Gil about setting up that kickboxer's range and trying to kick that lead leg, both inside and outside. And I knew he was going to try and throw a right hand off any time I picked up my foot. The counter to those things is a good hard right hand. And he's got a pretty damn good right hand. So I didn't spend time even thinking about it.
When he was on the ground, did he show you anything that you said, well, he may have learned something, or was he just so basic, it was just that easy? He didn't know what he was doing? I
didn't feel like he demonstrated any real solid skills once he hit his butt and his back. It was pretty easily. He didn't close his guard. He didn't protect himself that well. Was able to maneuver and get to mount pretty easily. From mount, I knew he had no idea how to. I could hear his corner yelling at him, drop his arm, roll. I could hear what they were trying to get him to do, but I think he was more interested in trying to punch me in the head from his back.
Randy, do you feel like that you could have had? It seemed like you could have had your choice whether to submit or ground and pound. Was a submission something that you had set out to do? Was that kind of were you on a mission to submit?
You kind of want James to have the complete mixed martial arts experience. We worked on that arm triangle a bunch from a lot of different positions. The mount is probably one of the few positions we didn't really work on it from, but we've worked on it a lot over the last year with Neil. And so I felt comfortable. Once I got it, I could make the adjustments I need to make to submit it. I genuinely hoped that was going to be the outcome, having this big crossover fight, because that we would win over some fans and some guys that are kind of maybe poo-pooing us and not taking us seriously. And I think that hopefully that happened tonight.
Obviously, you had a lot of people watching this fight. Did you notice, Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal was there, all these guys that were around the
Yeah, I didn't have time to focus on any of that. I didn't notice that at all.
Did you receive any well wishes from guys, from UFC before you went in?
Everybody, on my Twitter and my texts were going crazy, wanting me to tear him up. And I think they had emotional responses to all the things that he said. I couldn't allow myself to get into that, but there was a lot of people that wanted to see James go down.
Randy, a couple of weeks ago, Toney's boxing promoter, Dan Goosen, put out a challenge saying that now Toney has gone into MMA, he would like to invite you into boxing to box him. Would you ever be interested in doing something like that?
I would respectfully decline such an offer. It would be as silly as I think it is for James to jump into mixed martial arts the way he did here. And I think it would go about the same way. James would probably knock me out in the first round.